if someone were interested in donating or pointing the way for you financially or helping out, with your work and what you do, how would they donate? How would they donate to Acting Out for ALS? And also, most people when they donate want an assurance what that money's going to go to. So, if you'd like to speak to that.
Well, we have a website, actingoutforals.com. It's got all the contact info on it. In fact, I think we have still been updating our, this is how far we've come. We haven't put in King and I figures yet, but for 5 shows worth, we've raised about $23,000 since we did our first show back in May 2014. But yeah, it's a lot of people like to know that their money is going for the bigger cause, not just for our organization. We're just kind of like a conduit to get the money to the ALSA. What our goal has always been is to have fundraisers for the show, you'll sell hoagies or pizzas or whatever it happens to be. And what we make from that funds the show for costumes and sets and rental of the building and the U-Haul to get everything there. So that money from the box office, when people pay for their tickets, that's what goes to the ALSA. So the more that we get from outside businesses or just general donations from the public, which sometimes we get from cast members' families too. They just say, here's a check for $100, use it for whatever you need for the show, which is great. We definitely always apply that money directly to either our cause of what we're doing for the shows, or if it's left over at the end, that goes right to the ALSA. Like I said, we are all volunteer. There's nothing that is wasted. At least, we definitely try to. Occasionally a costume doesn't fit and you just have to save that for another show, but we try to recycle as much as we can for set pieces, things like that, so that, if we get a donation from outside, if a business is generous enough, and occasionally that has happened, that we can say, even if this doesn't go to the ALSA, you are directly supporting arts in the community. You're supporting an educational opportunity. You're supporting our efforts to reach out further and to make our mission broader. Do those things like I was saying before. If you can have a facility where you can anything that anybody who wants to come in there, outside groups, if they want to do a show in a facility that we have, that money that we make from that goes to the ALSA. So we are a tax exempt organization. We're a 501c3 organization. So anything that gets donated to us as Acting Out is also tax deductible the same way that it would be to the ALSA directly. We're happy to give you all the the letters and receipts and anything that you need for that. I think, as I said, that we got a great community around here that supports the arts. We're kind of new kids on the block in that sense. So we haven't done maybe as much outreach as other groups have. But people know us, and judging by the fact that we get 60 young people or so coming out for our shows, which is just a massive amount. I mean, that's not usual at all. I've been part of other productions where you're lucky to get 20. So
let's talk about that a second too. Everyone that auditions for your show gets in your show that wants a part.
If they want a part, yeah. I mean, sometimes you'll get someone who say, well, I only have so much time, and if I don't get a lead, then and we're fine with that too. But yeah, that's always been our policy, that if you want to be in the show, you don't have to have any experience at all. If this is your first experience, that's great, because you're going to learn the way that you're going to have a good time doing it, and hopefully that catches you and that gives you the bug. But yeah, when we did Willy Wonka, we had almost 90 kids audition, and we wound up having 74 in the show by the end of it, which is a challenge, but it's fine. We did it. We had 42 Oompa Loompas, but we just split them up into different groups. You had Violet had her Oompa Loompas, and Augustus had his Oompa Loompas. So you didn't have 42 Oompa Loompas on stage every single time.
That to me, that's what you should call your business. 42 Oompa Loompas.
I think it was low 40s. It was around 40 somewhere there. But yeah, I mean, it's also because, I have been and I've seen the receiving end of like someone who really wants to do it, but maybe they might realize, well, I haven't really learned how to sing yet. And I always tell kids, when they say, well, I can't sing, you just haven't learned yet. Maybe you haven't had the right teacher. Maybe you haven't had the confidence instilled in you. But I don't like to hear I can't sing, I can't dance, because I used to do that to myself. And then I realized, well, maybe I'm not as good as such and such person, but I enjoy doing it, so why not do it? And we always want to have kids who get that confidence from, you have to start somewhere, basically, is what it is. So we will always put every kid in our show that wants to be in it, because we know that they're going to enjoy the experience with us.